What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Modat J, and we are locked in. This is Ready to Love, episode 13, the reunion, part 1. I don't have much to say because we're about to get everyone back together. And you know me, on my channel, we don't bring that outside world into it. All we discuss is what's going on the show, and we know it's about to be a lot of backstabbing, a lot of emotions, but we are here for it. It is the reunion, part 1. But before we get into this reunion, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel and be a part of this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button, it's the easiest thing you can do. And yes, I am recording Ready to Love, the reunion right now, for those hitting me up on Twitter. But this is the reunion. We get to bring everybody back. We know there's some people y'all seen in the preview, like, who was he? He was on episode 1. There was a lot of people that got kicked up out of here. But we want to see the drama, and we want to see who is still together. So I'm done talking. This is episode 13, the reunion, part 1. There's a lot of cast members I'm looking at, like, I don't even remember their name. I do remember, what's the little man name, Christian. I'm like, all right, we remember him. We got frickin' Frat. We got Tressa. We got, man, that's really all I can think of off the top of my head. But we're seeing the background. For the most part, it looks like everybody, you know, they having a good time back there. When you get fly, it's hard to have a bad time. If I go put on a suit right now, go in the closet, put that tie on, oh yeah, it's a different mode. Ain't no games, you know what I'm saying? I'm focused. I know a lot of people been asking, we need to be seeing a lot more of the deleted footage that we didn't get to see behind the scenes. So that's what Nephew Tommy said. We're going to get to talk about things that happened on the screen that all of us got to see. And then what went on behind the scenes. Because we hearing that Amber was kissing certain guys that we didn't even know about. We know some people been texting and meeting up off the camera. We need to know all of this. Because if not, we don't have the full picture. The final 4 couples, Joelle and Vernisha, KG and Amber, Liz and Jason, the one we think that's probably still together out of everybody, Kyra and AJ. Come on, AJ. You got to tell us what really went on, brother. Tommy wants to know, why did you guys come here to do this process? And Liz tells him straight up, like, hey, 17 years, it's time. I've been ready, it's time. And for Jason, he took the approach of, I went after the same type of women over and over and nothing came out of it. So I had to change it up. And for everybody talking about, man, their age gap, it seems like they too old. She's 40, he's 36. She would have been a senior, he would have been a freshman. This is perfectly fine. There's no age gap. They're actually in the same age bracket. We get a little flashback of my boy KG. Now KG, he's clean. He looks like he came in like he's the Princess of Moon. He had the all white on. I was like, okay, this clean. Got Amber next to him. So they go through the flashbacks, and we see when he first came on, he's being brought back. We seen him getting some kissing in with Amber. So everybody in the crowd like, okay. But we also see the incident with Ron. You remember when Chris was trying to get at Chrysanthemum, and he was like, she's not available. Ron's like, man, she be answering my phone. I got a connection. So we seen a little bit of that. So I think that was really Chris's only, I would say, drama, like any issue part, besides the point where he found out Amber kissed the old boy at the end. But we get to see and hear from KG himself on what happened here. He was like, man, day 2 at the brunch. Amber, man, the conversation she gave me, I knew that's what I wanted. But he remembered from season 1, he put all his eggs in one basket and it ended up bad with Naya. So he still went on like, man, I'm going to try to date each and every one of these. But he already had his mind made up on Amber. So he was like, man, I'm not leaving here a second time with nothing. But fortunately, it paid out for him, and you know, it paid off. And Amber says communication is the reason that they're still working. So they're going on dates and stuff. They say they're together. We got to take their word for it. So congrats. At least one couple is still together so far. Next up, Miss Kyra. Now, we know there was a moment in the season where everybody like, I'm going home with Kyra. Me too. I'm taking Kyra. Everybody was getting strung along by Kyra. Now, I don't know how these gentlemen didn't see this, but I was telling y'all up front, man, she's playing all y'all. Started with AJ, moved on to Jason. I was like, she's playing each and every one of y'all to win. But that's what the game shows, so I can't knock her for that. But fellas, that does happen in the real world, so you gotta watch it, because you'll be on the roster, but you won't be 1, 2. You might be 3, 4, 5, 6. You only get put in for that little bit. You gotta see it and make moves early. But we hear Alexis calling out Kyra about, we don't know what she's playing here. Monopoly, chess, she's just trying to collect them all. Now we know it bit her in the butt in the end, but she was running that game all season. We start to hear a little bit of how can I put this? A little bit of feelings from Alexis Fly Jones, and she's talking about it kind of seemed like you weren't really here for love, Kyra. You were just trying to make it to the end. So that's one reason why she was collecting all these men. So it's like, all right, if this guy loses, I could jump on this one. If this guy loses, I could jump on this one. And she would always have a backup plan to make it to the last four. Now, from Alexis and me just looking from the outside, I'm like, man, at this point, you hating. You can't knock because she got all the dudes on her. If that's the way she plays her game, she's obviously winning because you worried about it. If you just focus on the person you focused on and worried about and do your thing, then it wouldn't matter. But if you're not there for love, you are just taking up space. I can see why Alexis is coming from that. But at the same time, me personally looking at it, I know Kyra played all these dudes, but I can't knock her game because this is a competition. It just looks like Alexis is hating. If the dudes didn't want you, they just didn't want you. But Tommy says the only reason, Alexis, you felt like this is because something turned. And that means somebody on the panel was talking. We're going to figure that out. But first, let's talk to some of the gentlemen that went home early. Let's not even BS. All fingers are pointing at Ron. We know Ron was talking his mouth. I did this, I did that. Amber's sitting there like, oh shoot, they bring it up Ron. I don't want to say nothing. But Kyra's like, before the show even started, Ron tried to talk to me. Alexis like, what? She's like, yeah, and if anybody's acting like that, running their mouth, it's because they ain't getting no play. And usually that's how it is. So Ron, if this is true, man, brother, I already said I was just bringing you down like that move you pulled at the elimination. I was like, man, all right, maybe he was just into his emotion. But if you've been running around yapping, I can't rock with you, dog. That's just me personally, my standpoint. You may be a good dude, but for me, hey, nope. Unfortunately, Tressa couldn't show up tonight. She said she did have a positive test for the C-19. That's unfortunate. So she just sent the video and was telling everybody, I think we all met up for a reason. It's a good thing. I genuinely have some friends. And my advice is to date other men, see what's going on out there, but don't give them the cookie. Not on the first date, at least. First up, they talk about Christian. Now, Christian, he got eliminated early. He was kind of quiet and reserved into himself. Came in dapper, though. But the lady said he ain't had no swag. And that's one of the reasons they eliminated him so early. It's like, no swag. My boy came in clean. Maybe he just isn't a vocal person to just open up like that. But they got rid of my boy early on this double elimination. Now, when Khalil came in, he looked like a substitute teacher or something. He came in, he was going over with Amber like, oh yeah, meeting girls, that's my flaw. Now the man can obviously dress. I don't know what he was doing coming into that. He came in like, I don't know, man, but he probably ain't had that confidence. I tell you, if you go out dressed like you dress like that, you ain't gonna have that confidence. I'm telling you, man. Like, you could be in something simple like a t-shirt, but when you go out with something and you looking around like, damn, everybody else is fly, I'm kind of just out here, you ain't gonna have that confidence. See, now we hear Christian open up. They said, so what was your thought when you got sent home? He was like, oh, man, to be honest with you, when y'all sent home Khalil, I was like, oh, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody doesn't just open up. They just come in and, hey, I'm Christian, blah, 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 talking. You got to fill out the room. But see, it's a competition. He thought he had too much time. They got rid of him the first day. Okay, so Christian has been talking to Andrea. Now, I will say she looks very attractive here. Very good looking woman. Then they put all the peer pressure on my dog, talking about asking for a date. He stands up, puts his hand in his pocket. If it's possible to have a conversation on potentially, I'm like, hey man, I ask her on my own. Or I just play, hey, Andrea, would you like to go on a date with your boy Christian? She would have said yeah, because she's not gonna turn you down in front of everybody. I'm like, okay, I'll pick you up after this. Everybody, I'm like, oh, Christian. Turns out Khalil been seeing Ida. Now, he comes out and says, yeah, I've been seeing Ida. And she's like, I didn't know we was coming out on the show telling people that we're together, because I asked earlier and you were like, nah. Now they making Khalil, just like they did Christian, they making you look foolish on TV. Like, I would have just been like, I didn't want to tell nobody until the reunion. And that would have been the end of the conversation as a man. But nah, he's like, stand your ground, man. Don't let them call you out on stuff like that. But like, hey, I didn't want nobody to know that we was talking at that moment. And I felt like this is the time I wanted to discuss it. And she got mad about that. But, I mean, relationships are different. But you got to, I'm not going to say anything. You just figure it out, gentlemen. Hit me up if you want some advice. Mr. Ron, come on down and get in the hot seat. Like I said, I don't have anything personal against Ron. It's just some things that I wouldn't be approving of. But They give us a flashback of how he's talking to the women. He talks to Chrysanthemum. He's telling her, oh yeah, you my top, you know what I'm saying? I got you in my top 1 or 2 right off the bat, off day 1. Then we also have Alexis. Remember, she talked to him and was like, are you sure you want to be with Chrysanthemum? You think she's there for you? Another woman that Alexis is talking about, which she doesn't need to be talking about other women in their relationship with him. You need to be talking to this man about what you and him got going on, not other people's business. But you remember during the elimination when she said there were some things that he's saying condescending himself, especially about her saying, are you just here for what I can offer you? And Ron was like, she can't offer me anything. Now, that may be true. You may have everything you need going as a man, but in this situation, you don't say it because it's just being defensive. Just listen to what she has to say, because it's nothing damaging towards you as a man. But I mean, don't let everything just slide, but you got to play a little chiller than this. Yeah, see, Ron, you losing me here, bro. I'm trying to defend you and tell you, like, what you doing ain't too wrong, but dog, you just keep jumping off the ledge, man. Now you bringing up, oh, man, she was talking about AJ. Don't throw somebody else into it. Your elimination, man. Now, I'm not telling any man to just let some woman just boom, 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 talk bad on you, tell you all this. Like, stand up for yourself. But you can't be throwing other people in here. And then the elimination is about you. You being all defenseless and stuff. It's like, hey, bro, you got eliminated. Just dip out. Damn, Ron, I can't. Ain't nothing I could do now, brother. You're too far gone, man. And Tommy just explained exactly what I said. You could be a man, but there's a line you got to draw. Like, you were getting so defensive. You were using emotions when you were doing all the talking. You was actually getting mad about this conversation. There's nothing that a woman could tell me that make me that damn mad where I gotta, oh no, hell no. Just, hey, it is what it is. You don't have nothing to offer me. I'm about this thing. I got eliminated. Life still goes on. You got to draw that line. And man, Ron was starting to use emotions and it wasn't looking good for him, man. And even Tommy called him out on it. Exactly what I was saying. He apologizes and then he says, I apologize and I take accountability for what happened because I felt like you were just jabbing me. See, the emotion started getting involved. A man would have just been like, yeah, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, whatever she says to you doesn't deter or distract you from doing what you were doing in life. She can have her own opinion. That's her opinion. Who cares? It ain't you. Keep it moving. But yeah, when you started getting all defensive and taking like, and bringing other people into the conversation, you don't do that as a man. You had a conversation about yourself and her, and that's it. They get on Ron and they bring in Chrysanthemum, and it turns out this dude didn't let Chrysanthemum meet his mom. Now Alexis is getting upset with that because she didn't. If you let somebody meet you at this age, he's what, about 38, 39. Someone meeting your mom, it's not like high school. Oh, you're meeting my mom. It's just, you're meeting my mom. You're going to say, oh, hey, Miss Moore. Hey, Mama Mo. And that's it. My mom's not going to sit down and just have a conversation with you because she knows it's probably not going to be nothing serious with you. If my mom, it's hard to explain, but from a man, like, at this point in my life, my mom knows if I'm going to bring somebody to introduce her to her, then it's going to be to a special event. If you just come to the house for one weekend because we got a barbecue or something, you just coming to the house to eat. But Alexis ain't like that because another girl stepped on her land. Uh-oh, that dreaded moment where Amber kissed Ron on a date. Ron's talking about, yeah, well, I kissed Amber and I'm going to continue to date her. And then in his exit interview, he said, yeah, she's still dating KG, but I think I win that out. Even if you think that, you shouldn't have said that. Chris isn't that type of dude. You only said that because Chris ain't a dude that's going to come up and whoop your ass. Like if that was Joel or something, he wouldn't have said nothing like that. But he knows KG ain't that type of dude. So that right there, that I really can't rock with Ron with the antics he's pulling. And that, man, I don't know, man. Dude on some other. Boy, Ron, it's over with, man. This man said, I always had a connection with Amber. She's been in my top 3. We went on many dates. Amber's like, nah. He was like, a couple. She was like, nah. He's like, well, one. Man, just be up here lying. Ron up there sweating because Alexis said, oh, me and you weren't done dating or doing our talking. We just had a 3-hour conversation. My boy Ron went out there and had a date with Amber, kissed her in the club doing this thing. So he's looking at it like, man, I thought the conversation was over 3 hours ago. Oh, man, this dude done dug a hole, man. Tough one to come out. Ron in the bag talking about, I was the victim. Alexis cheated on me with AJ, man. You were there, Jason. You seen she wanted AJ. She kissed him. If I'm Jason, I'm like, hey dog, I don't know what you gonna do, man. But whatever you got yourself in, I don't want no parts of it. Good luck, brother. Shook his hand. I would have got me a drink and been waiting to go back on the stage. Our very own Stacy and Chrysanthemum are better known as freaking frat to sister wives. Now, these two, they built a bond while they were on the show, closer than anyone else I've seen as far as a friendship, and they were around each other the whole time. So all of the men, they were looking at it like, they're attractive women, but damn, man, I can't talk to one without the other one butting in. I'm like, hey, back up, go talk to somebody. You ain't got to be all up on us. I'm trying to have a conversation. And you know, when you get them good conversations in, you can have that little group convo, but if they jumping in, you want to put your hand on their face like, hey, back up, and get that good one-on-one with one of them, but you couldn't. The reason men don't want that type of relationship where they're that buddy friends with people, even David explains, if I talk to you about something, the other one may be right there or want to know all this information. So whatever I'm telling my girl directly, that should be between us two. Your nosy friend, go find a man, get your own business. We don't want somebody else, especially in this case. I think Stacy is like, she get your information, she just start yapping about it. You don't want the friend to know everything that you two got going on, because you're building for you two. She needs to go find her own man and do her own thing. See, that's the reason why men don't like them when they're that close. Like, you try to get in there, but that friend, she's gonna always take precedent over you. Oh, I need help with this weekend. You like, man, I already had something planned for this. Oh, but I gotta really help her. She ain't got no man. That's why we like, man, nah, I'm good on all that. And she took it literally when he said, if I get a text, I send her a text, you might be in it. I haven't looked at any. He's just saying in general. He's not saying you actually did it, but that's what one thing that goes in our mind. And now she's trying to flip it and say, oh, I see the bromance that you guys have, so it's a double standard. No, the difference is our bromance has a line. Like, whatever you're doing with her, I'm just gonna be like, hey, what's up with y'all? That's it. Boom. And we go into another conversation. With you is you want to dig and figure things out. So it's not a double standard. It's just the way bros are together and they talk about women is different than how women talk together about men. That's all he's just trying to say. She even brings up, I see how you guys get together and you start moving things, but when we build a friendship, it's like, oh, it's bad. Listen to what you said. He came over to help him move, and after that, it's probably, all right, bro, maybe some sports, and then they dip. It's not let's talk about all the girls. No, it's not like that. AJ and his love triangle with Alexis and Kyra. Now, I know this whole time I've been on him because he was led on by Kyra, but they're asking him, how could you kiss Alexis and go from doing that to eliminating her in the end? And he was like, well, let's make it clear. I was after her, but if Ryan would have been more open with Alexis and, you know, saying, heard her out on everything she was saying, she would have picked Ryan. Ron was still on the, you know what I'm saying, on her list. But until the moment where Ryan, he was getting eliminated and he started tripping, that's when she changed from him. So for AJ, he was like, that's the reason I changed over to Kyra. Because if Ryan didn't do that, she would have chose Ryan over me. And that makes sense. That makes sense. You got to always have you a plan too. Now, I used to be involved with this woman. She ran off with a Spanish producer out in Florida. Dude made good music. Hey, that's not my problem anymore. She left me. She got a new dude. Life goes on, people. Life goes on. Here go Ryan. He's like, AJ said, I want to correct when you said I was treating Alexis bad. Now, Ron had a little event or something at his house, and everybody came over. He was walking Alexis to the car. AJ was like, hey, I haven't had no time for you. No time with you. So she goes back in the house, and I guess she waits. And like 2 hours pass, and AJ doesn't show up. And Ron was like, man, I don't think he's coming, man. Pretty much one of those, you deserve better. Like, dog, don't bring this up. Go talk to AJ one-on-one if you want to have that conversation. You see what I tell you? He'll talk like that to KG because he know KG may not hit him. But AJ bigger than him. You come at AJ incorrectly as a man, he may steal on you. That's one thing I don't like about Ron. That, like, you can't do that, man. That conversation should have been between you and AJ. We get some never before scenes, and Kyra's asking AJ, there was a lot of talk between the girls about you. Right off the back, he should have said, hey, whatever them women talk about, if I'm not telling it to you, don't believe it, because whatever they're saying is just something they made up. Never get outside information. But she asked, if you were dating two girlfriends, but you wasn't really with him. Would you find yourself in that situation right now? And AJ's like, nah, I wouldn't. See, she's a lawyer, so she's setting up. These would be entrapment questions, which she cannot ask you that. But since she knows you're not paying no attention, you just googly eyed because you're back with Kyra on this date. And she's just using all of it. She's using the lawyer tactics on you and you just letting it go, AJ. You just deny all that. Someone says something, I don't know anything they talking about. Whatever I tell you, it comes from me. Don't believe anything else. But Kyra got him right where she wants him. Alexis gets to see what was going on between Kyra and AJ, and she's actually seen the elimination where he changed his mind. He eliminated her, but brought her back. And she was just looking at it, and you could tell she was upset about it because it kind of looked bad on her, and everybody ended up getting rid of her in the end. But AJ says, I told her about it. And she's like, he maybe did, but it was just all a blur for me. And the reason he said he picked Kyra is because some words that Tommy gave him was, you'll know it's your girl. He said when Kyra walked in the room, he just knew that was his girl. But it wasn't, man. You were getting played the whole time, man. Like, I would have seen this coming if you would have came and asked me, hey, bro, you got any advice? I'm like, just from what I see, bro, don't even waste your time, man. She done already told all the girls in the house you cheap. She done already got her friends laughing at you. Nah, don't waste your time on this one, brother. You're getting led on. We get on Kyra now. Now, we know Kyra led on AJ the whole time, but she wanted to be with Jason. But Jason, he went ahead and got Liz. Now you see Jason right behind with his hands in his lap. He had his arm behind Liz. And then when Kyra started talking, he said, hold on, let me get focused in case something get ugly. I need to, make some moves and get up out of here. But she's saying, I wanted to see where me and AJ was. That's why I chose myself. Because when I love hard. And I don't want to be like, oh, is this the wrong decision? So she just wanted to make sure that AJ was the right decision, because we know she wanted Jason, but Jason was like, hey, I'm out. I'm done. And look at Liz in the back. She just looking like, we ain't seen Liz be mad but one time on here. And it was why? Because of Kyra talking about, I want to see where it goes with Jason. Liz is not trying to hear none of this back there. And Jason's kind of like, man, I hope this hurries up and get over with. Hey, just got to remove yourself. Like, hey, real quick, Tommy, I don't have anything to do with Kyra, so whatever she got going on, hey, don't involve me in it. I'm with Liz. My life is good. It's getting ugly for AJ. So AJ and Kyra, they were dating after the show. They weren't together, but they were still going on a date, seeing each other. Kyra went out of town for 2 weeks. She went overseas. She said she got back, and she got a call from Alexis saying that her and AJ went on a date. AJ did not tell Alexis that him and Kyra were still dating. So he just sitting there like, man, uh-oh. Now it's about to get real interesting. Alexis' birthday comes and she DMs AJ. Now this shows you that, hey, at this point, she ain't really got too many options out there. So she DMs AJ and asks, hey, was anything between us real? If I was AJ, I would open up that DM and I wouldn't have responded. I would have deleted the message. Like, we don't have... He set himself up for this one. He really did. I just wouldn't have responded like, hey, man, the show is over with. I'm trying to pursue Kyra. And if that don't work, then I'm going somewhere else outside of the show. AJ and Alexis went out on her birthday. Listen to this. Y'all damn near 40 and y'all taking a selfie of y'all kissing each other. Get the hell out of here. I wish I would be on a date with a woman and we kissing and she got the phone up taking a... Ain't doing this for no Instagram. Don't be putting me like... Too old for that. We ain't in high school. I don't get it. Now, use a picture y'all hugging, okay, but come on, up here kissing. Damn, AJ. Now you got proof too. You can't even deny this. Especially with Alexis. She even called Kyra or sent her a text and was like, hey, I didn't know if you and AJ, like... Alexis is gonna run her mouth. You shouldn't even been involved with her if you're gonna be doing something like this and you knew whatever you and Kyra didn't have was working. But reality finally sat in. He was like, this thing with Kyra ain't really what I thought it was. I've been getting led on. She went overseas. She probably went with a guy. Hey, I'm not saying she did, just probably. But he's looking at it and now Tommy wants to know, hey, right now, if you had to leave with somebody, who you leaving with, Kyra or Alexis? AJ says, well, I'm definitely not leaving with Alexis. And I think I'd like to try again with Kyra. It did feel like she left me on the, in the dark as far as what our relationship was, but I want to move forward. And then it gets to Kyra, and Kyra's like, well, You know, and guess what, people? We're out of time. All right, there you go. Ready to Love, the reunion part one. Let me know what you think about this episode, man. It's some sad things going on. Ryan, look, he went out bad. I'm telling you, he went out the worst. I got Ryan as the worst, then probably like Alexis, and then AJ at number 3. Like, damn, y'all was going out bad. But let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Be here next week for the reunion part 2. I'm J. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.